Hello, children. It's me, Mr. Bear. In today's episode of the Fearfic Podcast, DP's been trapped on Mars, where the only transmission device is a built-in microphone to a gaming headset. The boys also read surreal horror stories by Short Story 1 about violence and wizards. Also, Slimebeast didn't notice the sun vanishing, Abysmii gets in danger at an old folks' home, and I answer a little bit of listener mail later on. But let's get into the episode, fellow citizens. Don't be a subject.
Welcome to the Fearfic Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo Slimebeast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysmii, and irritable ghostly man-whore Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet-related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
Do you guys remember...
Yeah, I do like booze.
Do you say booze or boobs?
I can't tell because of the recording quality.
Booze boobs. How about a drink, Batman? It's always the same guy.
He's just, yeah, we always go to that one. Booze boobs just got, I don't know, hard liquor coming out of their tits.
Yeah.
Wow, that would hurt.
Not them.
No, they like it.
I like it. It feels very nice and tingly.
God damn it. Do you guys remember the Great American Eclipse?
No?
You don't remember the Great American Eclipse? In 2017, there was like a super eclipse or whatever the fuck they call it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. If you said like an eclipse of a solar body, then yes.
What the shit are you... Okay.
Oh, you mean an eclipse with the planets? Oh, I thought you meant something else.
I thought you were talking about Eclipse's hair. That's the punchline from How Does the Moon Cut His Hair? Okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Eclipse, the old rap duo. What are they up to nowadays?
God damn it! I thought you were talking about Eclipso, the DC villain. All right. But the Great American Eclipse in 2017 was a big event, supposedly. And right after the eclipse was over, I'm not even sure what was so great about it because I didn't even look at it. But I was just like, who gives a fuck?
Wow.
But right after the eclipse was over, I went into a store that had all of their 2017 Great American Eclipse merchandise on sale. And I got a baseball cap. A black cap, right? On the front, it says 2017, and the 0 in 2017 is an eclipse, okay? And on the back, it says Great American Eclipse, okay? So I got this for like $1, and I want to ask you guys' opinion. What point is it best? Like, how many years out will it be okay to wear this?
2017, enough time has passed. It's pretty dope now.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I want to wear it, and I want people to ask me about it, and I'm going to say, well, it was the Great American Eclipse, and they say, well, did you look at it? And I'll be like, no. Let's say, well, why did you buy a 2017 Eclipse hat? Why would you purchase this? And I'd be like, because I was there, man. I was around for that.
I didn't think you could eclipse me in hipsterism, but you've managed to do it.
There you go.
Okay, so that's a good point though, because I was thinking about this. If you do something like, have like a hipster goatee, or have like shitty hipster tattoos, or a hipster haircut, or like
own a synth, and yeah.
Own a synth.
Own 17 cents.
Live in California and
have a wife.
As an alien. Have a wife.
Wife.
No, so if you really want to be a hipster, you can't go to those default things. Having shit on like a 2017 solar eclipse merch, that is like fucking hipsterism. Okay, like there's a story behind this. You're getting up your ass when you do that.
Yeah,
and that's what being a hipster is about.
Well, maybe I can further this along here. I don't know if this will give me more or less cred as a hipster, but I've been saving the 2017 hat for a time, like I said, where it's going to make the least sense. and I've been saving it by having it sit on top of a gumball machine. And the gumball machine is filled with capsules, and in each capsule is a vending machine equivalent of an Insane Clown Posse character. Like, there's these little psycho clowns, they call them.
What does your house look like?
Oh, God.
What the fuck?
Have you ever seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Of course.
Okay, so now have you ever seen like an expose documentary on meth abuse in trailer parks? Okay, now have you ever seen like when a truck rolls over on the highway?
And it's a mobile home. The truck is a mobile home. It was hauling a mobile home.
Yes. My desk looks like it was being shipped from IKEA, and the truck collided with Spencer's into a Spencer's while they were selling Halloween merch after Halloween.
Is that okay? Is that how that works? Like, if you got like the Spencer's truck coming to the outlet mall to deliver to Spencer's, if that just crashes into something, does that become Spencer's?
Yes. That's how you get a new Spencer's. It's an SCP. I like the idea, though, that the Spencer's truck takes a turn too quickly and you just hear all the fart machines going off at once in the back. Like all those keychains.
All the shitty plastic dildos just turning on at the same time.
God damn it, every time I take a turn too fast, all the shitty plastic dildos stick to the wall with their suction cups.
I gotta de-dildo the interior again. Give me a minute.
Damn it. Gotta de-dildo. The de-dildo. Anyway.
Oh, the Spencer's truck.
No, it crashes into like a fucking KFC and people are just getting buckets filled up with Spencer's gifts. Oh, it's a bunch of different sizes of condoms.
Damn it. Oh, a board game for adults that isn't actually that risque.
Oh, a bunch of candy in a bottle shaped like a medicine bottle, and it says chill pills. Oh,
exactly. Fucking hell. I may or may not somewhere here have like one of those bottles where it's, I think it's marked with just like the death symbol or something. So I am one of those people. I'm one of those Spencer's Gifts people. I'm a mark.
Spencer's Gifts. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's perfectly fine. Again, you're only going there ironically.
Why keep your pens and pencils and dry erase markers in anything other than a skull mug? You know? Why? More and more Americans aren't doing that, and I think that's why these goddamn Democrats are getting elected. Mm-hmm. All right, so what are we doing? We're reading a story about Spencer's? Is that
Spencer's Gifts 1?
We did once.
Short story 1. If you listen to this, please write a story about going into the last Spencer's. The last mall in America.
And double, if you're listening to this, I want to hear that SCP-like article about a Spencer's Gifts truck that just runs into things and turns them into Spencer's Gifts. I just think it would be funny.
Yeah.
We are reading I Spread Pacifism Through Violence by Short Story 1.
Mm-hmm. So Short Story 1 is the United States of America.
Yep.
Peace through violence.
Peace. Pacifism by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm. Damn it.
So we love Short Story 1. I am excited to read this.
Short Antifa 1.
So they are they're very comedic. They're very, or would we say self-indulgent? How would we even describe their style of horror?
So
French?
It's a little French.
Well, sorry, I'm not gonna dox them. I've had conversations with Short Story 1, just like through messages on Reddit, and I have never asked, where do these come from? How and why do you write these? I don't want to know.
Where do you get your crazy ideas? But again,
I do not want to spoil this. I just want to enjoy Short Story 1's output for what it is. But I did see once, in a comment section, they were responding to someone else, and they said something to the effect of, "I write these at 2 in the morning when I'm half lucid."
Yes.
And I just go with whatever, and I'm like, that's all I need to know.
That's the way perfect. You do it.
Yeah.
I have a story coming out soon on our Creepypasta channel where I just didn't think. I just had like a deadline. And it's just like, I have to get a story done today. And the result was this kind of short story one, self-indulgent. Like, I would say it's self-aware. It's either self-indulgent, something like that, where they're very aware of what they're doing, and they've just kind of like thrown logic to the wind.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's when you write for yourself, like purely for yourself.
Right.
You don't think how this is going to be perceived. You don't think, have I done something like this before or whatever? Like, you kind of just get whatever is in you out on the paper. And I really like that.
I think discovering short story one has taught me stuff about how I write, because I'm very wound up of like, oh, but are people going to misinterpret this and misinterpret this? Everything has to be, that ash can, or that like, at one time you're trying not to give too much detail, but also everything has to be explained, like, no, it was totally drugs the whole time or whatever. Like, there has to be some like rational explanation. I like that short story one has just thrown caution to the wind and just said, no, the story has an internal logic, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be anything more than that.
It's almost keyhole fiction, but not really.
Yeah. No, it is.
It's keyhole fiction if someone was like peering through the keyhole and someone came up and kicked the door open. It's like, fuck you. This is what it is. Breathe it all in.
That's such a good explanation.
I forget who they were. I'm sorry, but they're on the Too Spooky Discord. But a while ago, after we started like doing more short story one stories, someone said, after hearing that episode and after reading short story one stuff, I also just said, fuck it, I'm going to stop being afraid of posting my stories and just do it. And not like they were doing short story one style stories. They just started posting what they were working on. And it really, really made me happy to see that.
Definitely.
Like, it's just encouraging. It's like, yeah, you know what? Do not get so wrapped up in how many upvotes you're going to get. I said this before, like, it doesn't have to be your magnum opus. Just write. Just get something out there when you feel comfortable enough with it. Like with anything in art, like music especially, I used to sweat about songs so fucking much, but at the end of the day, a song just has to be done. You just have to release it and then move on to the next thing.
I think that was what, wasn't that like didn't Justin Bieber famously say that?
Look, I don't write songs.
Didn't Justin Trudeau famously say that while in blackface?
Listen, at the end of the day, there has to be a black guy at this party. If it has to be me.
At the end of the day, there has to be somebody named Justin to say something before Abysmii is allowed to say it. I think we can all agree with that.
Yes.
Probably.
But this is the one thing too that is really good is when you don't give a shit and you write at like 2 a.m. and then you go to bed and you just leave it up and you just, caution to the wind. It doesn't have to make any sense. It doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't have to have an ultimate, complex resolution. When you do that, you don't have to worry too much about criticism, because when people get really incensed or nitpicky about your story, you can just laugh and be like, I wrote that at 2 a.m. and went to bed. Like,
I just done a bunch of NyQuil, man. What do you want from me?
Why are you fucking mad? What the fuck?
Well, and Short Story 1 has retracted some things, going, that was a little, I don't even know what the fuck I was saying there, which I totally respect. But I like the repetitive, the practice, the exercise of just get something out and see what happens. Because you never know what you're going to do. And so far, pretty much every time, it's been massively entertaining and just a joy to read. So,
well, not to harp on this, but I spent way, way too long trying to write an erotic lesbian fan fiction for Siege, because I wanted to challenge myself to try and write something that I don't normally write, and that took up so much of my time. And then I started actually like trying to crank out stories after that, and it wasn't like trying to make it perfect. It was just get it out. I gotta start fucking writing stories now because I spent too much time on this dumb long thing that I thought needed to be perfect.
So if I heard DP correctly on his direct line from the Mars colony, I think he said that it was difficult and took a lot of time to write his lesbian fanfic because he was constantly stopping to crank one out. Is that what
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Okay.
Well, it was especially annoying because there was like 10 entire pages of no sex, so it was really hard to like jerk off to like this is going to be something eventually.
It was really tough to arrange this call because the amount of time zones between us and DP on Mars is like the difficulty in calculation alone.
He's on Martian time, yeah.
Well,
MST.
I would say that's how high I am. I aim at Mars right now.
And
I
then
spread pacifism through violence.
and then the Doom Demons invaded the Mars colony. DP, whoa.
Whoa.
Suh, bruh.
That's where I am.
I spread pacifism through violence. I have a life's mission to spread pacifism through violence, and it has been working so wonderfully well ever since my new life passion. Is that right?
No.
Yeah, ever since my new life passion.
My life's new passion.
Yeah, it
My
should be
life's new
possessive.
passion. Yeah, okay. Have been so productive and upbeat
Nope.
that I'm glad to be alive.
Positive.
What did I say?
Productive.
Yeah,
Oh.
totally different.
Yeah, well, you can be both. It's a weird feeling to be happy in life, but once you find that passion, it will lead you to the place that all humans must find. Pacifism is my passion, and the best way to spread pacifism is through violence.
Huh.
And I once beat up Humphrey, who was a homeless man at the time. After beating him, he suddenly had an epiphany, and suddenly he understood pacifism.
Yeah. I mean, that'll do it.
Wouldn't it be better if I wasn't touching you? That's so good.
Wait a minute, is this the King of Suma Beach's origin story? This kid can't understand pacifism, he's dead.
Is it okay if I kick you? No, it's not, so I bet you're a pacifist.
There you go.
We both hugged each other, and we became men of pacifism.
Yep.
This is so incredible.
Men of Pacifism is like the next phase in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
40 movies of everyone doing nothing. Then me and Humphrey found another stranger who was in a suit, and he was about to walk to his car, Slender Man, until me and Humphrey jumped him and beat him up. After beating him up, Sidney took off his suit until he was in his underwear, and he laughed in joy because he now understood that pacifism was the way.
There you go.
He hugged both me and Humphrey, and he understood pacifism now like he was a scholar. He was now a man of pacifism, and our group grew by one more. It was the three of us now that we're going to spread pacifism through violence. Is this just like an alternate take of Fight Club?
I think this is like a zombie movie, but it's just brain damage. They just give people brain damage until they're like them. I like
I just like the idea of going up to someone
yeah.
and being like, are you a pacifist? No, and just beating the shit out of them. Are you a pacifist? Yes. Okay, cool.
There you go.
No, I definitely was kind of getting some Fight Club vibes from this.
Yeah. The three of us, at the end, all of these will be one guy. The three of us...
Real quick. Speaking of Fight Club, did you see that it recently got re-released in China?
Didn't they change it or something? Like
They changed the ending. I shit you not. So, spoiler club for Fight Club. At the end of it, they're terrorists and they're successful and they make a big explosion. And they're like, these anarchists, blah, blah, blah. Point is, there's a big explosion. The Chinese media, government decided that they were finally allowed to put it back out in China. And they edited out the explosion and literally, I shit you not, just put up text on the screen that says the CCP government was able to intercept the bomb slot before it went off. It's fucking incredible. You see it and you're just like, wow, the propaganda is that lazy.
Poochie died on his way back to his home planet.
It's literally Poochie died on his way back to blowing up a bunch of business buildings.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
The fuck. The three. Why?
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm thinking of probably because we're talking about China. But Paprika and I were like getting coffee one time. I don't know how we got on the topic of like car manufacturers, but one of us asked, like, China doesn't import cars, so they must have their own like state-run car companies. What are they called?
Yes.
There's 4 of them, and
Prison
3 of them
camps,
are
that's
like
what they're called. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, that too. But like 3 of them are like, you know, kind of unique names, and the last one is just Great Wall Cars.
Do they just drive
like,
on the Great Wall?
That's the laziest, but also the best name.
Great Wall Cars.
Great Wall Cars. No, their
awesome.
logo. Their little bumper logo is just a graphic of a car running into the wall.
So what I want Double or somebody out there to do, start a YouTube channel where you take the endings of movies, right? And right when there's about to be something where everybody knows the spoiler, everybody knows how the movie ends, cut to black, put up a text saying about the CCP, did X, Y, and Z, and then, cut in like a happier scene at the end, like The Sixth Sense, right? Movie's ending, it's about to do the big reveal. And a screen comes up with white text on a black background, and it says, the CCP government was able to successfully save Bruce Willis from the gunshot. He's just like, have him walking away down the street from like earlier in the movie with like happy music.
So
just do that with every movie ending.
The Mormons got in trouble for recutting and distributing movies with like violence and alcohol and everything cut out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, they cut it out because no Mormons. So I'm wondering, what's the CCP cut of The Matrix? It's just Neo getting his ass beat by the system over and over and over again until the movie ends?
I think it would be... I don't know, what would it be? Would it be...
He just takes the blue pill. It's just like a 30-minute movie.
It's a minute and a half long.
Why was that movie 10 minutes? Yeah, exactly.
If you take the red pill, we'll change your opinion about everything, and you'll see a whole new world. If you take the blue pill, we won't kill you.
Yeah.
Neo took the blue pill.
Okay, so you recut the ending of The Matrix. Neo's about to get his ass kicked. Like, before the fight even starts, it cuts to black and it says, the CCP was able to take down the machines, which actually were being operated by America. And then you cut to the end of Neo and Trinity kissing, and then it ends. Anyway.
Have you ever seen that clips from the Wolf Warrior movie?
No.
The Wolf Warrior?
The Wolf Warrior movie. It was like a movie that was released in China that's basically like Chinese propaganda, and there's a bit in it. Yes.
Okay.
Who would have thought? But it's like this weird Chinese power fantasy, and like half the movie is like this American force and this Chinese force need to team up to take down some greater threat. And like all of the American soldiers are just like ridiculous bullies. and they're like they're saying all of their lines that have been fed to them in English, and they're just like the most ridiculous insults. It's like, you can't aim a target.
It's true.
I eat chips.
I eat chips? God damn it.
I eat chips. Fuck you, loser.
Hamburgers.
Yeah.
Hamburger.
God damn it. Pizza, apparently.
You, what's your best skill? Oh, you don't know English, you idiot.
What did you see?
Oh, you understand English, huh? I said, what's your best skill, little man?
So, dare you compete with me?
Whatever. Come on, man.
See? Are you convinced?
This doesn't count.
What do you want?
The three of us then jumped on another guy called Nathan, and we beat him up so bad that he started crying out to Pacifism to save him.
Oh, Jesus.
After we finished beating him up, he suddenly had a calling and a vision about pacifism, and he was now one of us.
It's so just Sumo Beach. I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah. This is just having like this seems like a critique of religion, I guess, as well
I think
as
it's
everything
just a
else.
critique of like ideology, for sure.
Well, like we put these things on it, and they're definitely there. But I will say, in a short story, one story, in the first few moments, you can already figure out what kind of, I don't mean to phrase it this way, but kind of like the joke is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's so good about the stories is like they'll find ways to play with that joke throughout. I get the feeling that once we read the last paragraph, it's going to kind of like, again, like Abysmii said, like keyhole fiction, but then you open up the entire door.
Kick somebody in the face. He gave up his job and left his family to starve, like we all had done, and he was the fourth member. Nathan was so grateful to the three of us for passing on the beauty of pacifism through violence, and he felt so bad that he was chosen.
Then Kalen, a guy who has been trying to make us beat him up to make him have a prophecy of pacifism, but he isn't ready for it yet. Kalen was trying and begging us to beat him up as he wanted to be a pacifist so badly, but didn't understand it. The four of us knew he wasn't ready for pacifism, and will never be ready for pacifism, the four of us haven't told Kaylin this harsh truth yet, but whenever the four of us beat someone up into becoming pacifist, Kaylin is always there in the background crying in jealousy.
God damn it.
Oh my god. I love it.
And subverted. The Kaylin subversion.
Okay, that's what's just so fun about these. And again, you can put these like messages about like, oh, this may be about religion, this might be about ideology, and it's like, yeah, but it's mostly about like, this shit is like a joke. It's like, haha, what if I just beat people up and tell them, doesn't this suck? Like, that's the joke.
Oh, and I like, not every short story one story does this, but this one actually has a bow on the end, which is great. Because it still manages to keep up with the joke, but it just, I don't know, it ties it all together very well. Oh, man, this is great.
Guys, I don't know, we might not want to bring too much attention to this, but Short Story 1 does have a story on No Sleep that has actually been left up for 2 days.
I did see that, and I am shocked.
That's just because the mods haven't read it yet, and it's not because of Short Story 1, it's because of the mods.
It's at 0 comments, 0 upvotes, so it might just exist in perpetuity because no one's noticed it.
All right. Well, so what are we reading next?
Do we want to read that?
Are we reading a Short Story 2 story? I don't know. Look, check out the length of this bad boy. Flops Short Story 1 story on table. 5
paragraphs.
Wow.
Wow!
Listen, babe, the average is 5 paragraphs, okay?
Oh,
that's average.
Oh, okay, so actually, there's 2 that are up on No Sleep that haven't been taken down. I am shocked.
Maybe he wore them out. Maybe he won. Wouldn't that be nice?
Maybe the No Sleep mods are just going to give up. One can hope.
Maybe the No Sleep mods are like, he's not doing anything against the rules. We can't really do much.
Right.
Oh no, he's adapting. Like,
I'm cool reading this one.
I'll read it. I just was worried it might be too long since we already did one, but
whatever.
All right, let's go. Deepay? Uh-oh. Did we lose the line?
No.
Pull back into the drive-thru.
If a voice could be Morse code, it's DP right now.
I don't think I can have care for an old wizard. I don't think I can have chips.
The sequel to I Ate Chips. I don't think I can have chips. In the last story, you may remember, dear Redditors, that I ate the chips. Now, No Sleep, I don't believe I can have chips. Part 3, I bought more chips. Hey Reddit, as you suggested in the comments, I went out and bought chips. Double, you know what to do.
Oh, getting there in my lungs. I don't think I can care for an old wizard with Alzheimer's anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me neither, brother. Me neither.
Wait a minute, is that what Abysmii and I are doing on this podcast?
Yeah.
God.
I am a carer for a very old wizard with Alzheimer's, who now has Alzheimer's. The wizard is about 1,000 years old, and he has a great, powerful, majestic magic stick wizard back in the days of his younger days. Now he can hardly move properly with a deteriorating brain, and he can't remember anything as well. I did feel worried about looking after a very old wizard with Alzheimer's, because Alzheimer's patients have attacks, so to speak, where they are something is happening and can be violent. Did I read that right?
I think you might have cut out, I'm not sure, a little bit. On some syllables, I don't know.
I imagine myself what an Alzheimer's attack would be like with an old wizard. All I was given was a magical protection shield, and that told me everything.
He was just given one.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's how it works. I had to live in his very large castle, which itself is also about 1,000 years old.
This is...
This is on No Sleep, so, like, fuck you. There's a 1,000-year-old castle somewhere with a wizard in it. You can't disprove that. Fuck you. It's real.
If I can look out my window and see that there's not a 1,000-year-old castle, it's not immersive.
If there was a wizard in a 1,000-year-old castle, I want to know what he was doing there. Why he's 1,000 years old?
God damn it.
No, I like the idea that that's what AI Dungeon types back to you. It's just like, no, there's a 1,000-year-old dungeon over there, and you type back, no, there's not. Take that out of the story, and it's like, no, there's a 1,000-year... Listen, I'm very...
You walk into the dungeon. Fuck.
Walk into it.
All in all, I just have to make sure that the old wizard has his medication and that he is fed. I am also going to live with him, and yes, the money I am being offered is a lot, and I really need it. Is this just attacking the Sugar Daddy Mansion shit?
Maybe.
Because I would be so down for that.
I do like how this sort of, like, short story one, like, this story in particular, I like how it has sort of playground rules.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I was given an anti-magic shield and a lot of money, and...
and whatever.
Yeah. It was just given to me, you know? I just have it.
Also, my Skechers make me levitate.
Mm-hmm.
As all Skechers do.
Those are just Heelys, what the fuck?
I got given my room and got shown around the basics around the castle, and when I first saw the gray-haired wizard, he was just looking at the window. He didn't pay attention to me at all, and you can clearly tell that this man had lived one hell of a life. I remember when I was left to do the job, and I was cleaning around, and I fed the wizard his food and medication. I was a little at ease, and I was more confident now, and even though he is a wizard, he is still a patient. Then at midnight, I heard screaming from the wizard's room, and I also blasts.
And also yeah, and angry.
I was going to say, I started blasting, which I assumed were magical blasts. I grabbed my magical protective shield, and as I bravely stepped into the room, the shield blocked some of the magical blasts from the wizard. It was awesome.
Amazing.
Fucking love it.
I picture, like, the Captain America shield mixed with the Benedict Scrumber Bunch, magic shield. I could hear the wizard shout.
What?
Benedict Scrumber Bunch. The Dr. Wizard. Dr. Strange. Yeah. You know how he does, like, the protective wave around with his hands?
Whatever.
I'm picturing that mixed with Captain America's shield is what this guy's grabbing. Like, strapping it on his arm, I could hear the wizard shout, "Dragon! It's the dragon, Japol! It's here to attack. It's attacking us." Is Japol the name of somebody? Or
I think it's the name of the dragon.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
The dragon Japol.
I'm very glad that you saw that L, because I did not see that L.
God damn it.
God damn it.
It's here.
I'm glad
it's
you got
attacking
that
us.
line.
I mean, it's a 1,000-year-old wizard. It's probably pretty fucking racist.
Okay, so if the dragon was named Japol without the L, that's less Marvel Cinematic Universe and more classic Marvel Golden Age. Iron Man versus...
The Iron Jap.
God damn it. Jesus Christ.
The Iron Japol.
And I knew of the dragon because before I took this job, they filled me in at all the creatures he had killed. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Japol was a fierce dragon many decades ago, which the wizard had killed, and I was shown the dungeon which the dragon's bones were kept, to remind the wizard again that this particular dragon was dead. They keep the bones to remind him. See the bones? Remember?
This is how you remind me that the dragon is dead.
God damn it. Look at these dragon bones! As my shield was protecting me from being blasted away.
I keep locked up in my home.
Dragons! All that I see, all around me.
They're all dead.
Absolute Alzheimer's. As my shield was...
I chimed in with a haven't you people ever heard of? Keep the dragon bone.
We're bringing Japol back. Yep. As my... Fuck. As my shield was protecting me from being blasted away by this aging wizard's attacks, he magically threw me across the room, but I still grabbed hold of my shield. Alright.
When the wizard turned his back to me, I ran up behind him and grabbed, with both his arms now trapped. I managed to tie something around him so he couldn't wave his arms, and I tied up his mouth so he couldn't say any more spells.
Elder care, folks.
Elder abuse.
Listen, we gotta put a gag in his mouth before he asks for extra potatoes at lunchtime.
Here at BTK Elder Care,
God damn. Remember the BTK killer?
God damn it. Remember the BTK killer, which I think the kill killer is at the end? The bind, torture, kill killer? Kill killer?
The BDSMK.
Double created an entire anime called Kill Killer.
Kill the killer.
No.
He was still mumbling things, and I saw objects burning and things flying off the roof. My shield was back in his room, and I took him to the dungeon. That is not the word dragon, where the bones were of the fierce dragon laid forever. The wizard was calm, and he fell to his knees, and I untied him. He started to cry, and he said to me, "Japol, the dragon is dead." I didn't realize, and at that moment, I felt so sorry for him.
True.
I helped him to his feet and helped him to his room, and he was feeling so tired now, and he said to me, "Who are you? Are you Ulysses? I missed you so much."
God damn it.
And I replied, "No, I'm your carer." And he fell asleep after that.
Oh,
I picked up my I'm asleep now. I picked up my magical protective shield, and I was watching the wizard. There's something so calming when an old wizard sleeps, like everything is going to be okay.
I mean, that's true. Universally true. We all know that feel.
Hell yeah. But looking at
In
the
the
wizard,
retirement home tonight,
God damn it.
the wizard sleeps.
Tonight. Hey. A wee mooey.
but looking after an old wizard suffering from Alzheimer's wasn't all exciting, and it could be annoying and repetitive.
There were weeks when the old wizard would nag me to do spells to contact his friends in other universes or even other planets. They're all dead, dude. I would have to explain to him that I don't do magic, and nor do I have any magic in me, and there were days where he expects me to fly to places, or turn things invisible and help him with magic. It was real frustrating Just fly out and get me. I could really go for a raspberry frap.
Please.
It was real frustrating dealing with this old wizard, as he didn't understand that I am not a magical person, and when something didn't work out, he would flip out. I would have to also stop him from floating out the window. That's so perfect. And when he does float out, he would get stuck in a tree, and I would have to help him down. Hearing him wailing for help with his magic can be the most ear-aching thing I have ever experienced. So he has like sonic voice. Help, help.
That is an interesting question. If you're a really powerful arcane magic user and you just kind of get old and don't know what you're doing and you just mumble random spells, what the fuck happens? That could be very dangerous.
You know what this is? This is an episode of Smiling Friends. Pim, listen, we gotta leave him in that tree. Now we've got to get him down, Charlie.
Fucking season's out, and I've only seen the first 2 episodes because fucking Adult Swim has to be on a goddamn paywall.
It's almost like you're a fake fan.
Yeah, I'm a real fan.
You're not.
I watched that illegally the first day. I'm a true fan.
You're not. Abysmii is not sounding like a true pebbler.
Yeah, he's not a real psychic.
I've never claimed to be.
I never claimed to be. Why are you turning into Bane?
You know what Abysmii is? Abysmii is a smiling fraud.
Exactly. He had another Alzheimer's attack in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. I grabbed the magical shield and ran into his room. He was blasted at his own shadow as he was shouting, "Die, Dertrock, you evil shadow being." You goddamn evil shadow being. Mm-hmm. And
Dratok.
It's like just picture this. Picture Dracula on TikTok, and that'll help you.
That is not helping me.
Look at my wet ass pussy. Blah.
God damn it.
It's or miss. I guess they never miss, huh?
God, what the fuck? Look, I jumped and now I am naked. Blah.
I can't talk right now. I'm busy making piss.
God damn it.
Y'all seen that TikTok?
No.
Huh?
No, I don't watch TikTok.
No, I don't watch people piss, DP. Okay, go ahead.
Listen, where's all this shaming of a little bit of fist play coming from?
DP just thought it was funny. That's the old truth.
I just think people should pee in public. It'd be funny.
I just think it'd be funny if I was allowed to, whip out my dick, pee in public.
Yeah. Pee in Publix, specifically Publix.
I just think it would be funny if I was allowed to sneak into the storage units at night and piss on the Fleming storage units using my fist to write the word Fleming storage unit project on the Fleming storage unit project.
Mm-hmm.
Is that so much to ask?
Yes.
That's funny.
I mean, it's a bit meta, but
Yeah. Andrew Talk was another menacing evil mastermind shadow creature from the dark ages from the wizard did banish.
Get out of here, you evil menacing mastermind shadow creatures. Get out of here.
I love it because it is just shit that fucking Alex Jones would say. Like, you goddamn interdimensional mind shadow creature.
Chimeras. Chimeras. Oh, fuck.
Tratocs are real. They got oily-looking skin. They climb out of the gutters.
And then you got some will-o'-the-wisp leading children off into the forest.
I grabbed my magical shield, but the old wizard was mainly just attacking the shadow, and then his shadow. My shadow. Okay, I see where I made the critical error there. And was trying my best to calm him down. Then a group of drunk party people trespassed.
Oh, wow. Come on, party people. Put your hands in the air. Come on, party people.
Look out, there's a wizard.
Slimebeast, have you ever gone to drinking parties and mingled among the drunk party people?
It's funny how every drinking party ends in a trespassing.
All the good ones.
Yeah.
Then a group of drunk party people trespassed into his land, and he thought their shadow was Stratok.
Mm-hmm.
The wizard blasted at all of them, but as he meant to attack their shadow, his aim isn't so good anymore, and he hit the drunk people instead. I shook the wizard hard, which was illegal and not allowed, and I shouted at him,
Yeah.
Stratok isn't alive! You banished him! And then the old wizard had a worried look on his face and pondered to himself, I already banished Stratok! And he started tearing up again. He fell to his knees, and the screams of the partygoers was loud. The crowd started absorbing them, and they all perished before my eyes.
Yeah.
The old wizard was fuck out of here.
Yeah, fucking party people. Fuck you.
What do you get for fucking trespassing? Sorry. The old wizard was just looking outside with empty expression on his face and nothing going through his mind.
Oh, God. This is the Harry Potter movie we all needed.
Yeah.
No, that's Harry Potter if it's in college. It's just Harry Potter and the trespassing drunk party people.
Yeah. Harry Potter and the drinking party. In the morning, I went out. Actually, it's interesting because a group of people can be a party, like especially in role-playing shit and stuff like that. So it's a drunken party. 2 meanings. In the morning, I went outside and started digging at the place where the party...
Look forward to the Fear Fiction D&D campaign, Partying People.
Yeah.
Don't spoil that.
I would do a D&D campaign. If you want to see a D&D campaign, write in the comments below. In the morning...
then we won't do it.
Yeah.
We need a DM, and then we'll do it.
If you want to see resequeled, Do Not Steal, Fearfic Flicks, a D&D party. In the morning, I went outside and started digging at the place where the partygoers had been absorbed. A couple of their faces appeared on the mud, and they begged for alcohol. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Some of their bottled beverages were still full, and I poured the alcohol on their mud faces, and they started cheering and wailing drunk dumbasses.
Cheering and wailing and cheering.
Damn it. I'm wailing, and I'm cheering.
I guess if they get a whale, that's what Japanese people do when they're wailing. They're cheering and they're wailing.
Yeah, there you go.
To break, really briefly from the insanity, people, getting cursed to become part of the mud and just, because they were drunks in life, they just want more alcohol. That's, straight out of fucking Wizard, Return to Oz shit. Mm-hmm. That's really cool. I like that.
It kind of feels like, again, just going back to the idea of, a college version of something else. college version of the Addams Family, and they're, you know, the parents are away for the weekend. Let's have a crazy party, but it's, you know, how Wednesday and Pugsley would throw a party.
Mm-hmm.
It was eerie, and as I walked away, they started begging me to pour more alcohol on them as they were thirsty, but I just walked away. The old wizard is just in his room, looking out his window, completely motionless and without excitement. Without excrement. I'm a good carer. I cleaned all that up. The begging of the
exciting excrement here for adult diapers.
God,
I don't know.
The begging of the alcoholics on the ground could still be heard in the wizard's room, and all I can think of is, I don't think I can do this. Please tell me this is part 1, but there's one comment and it's been deleted by the mods probably.
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysmii, Dead Palette, and Slimebeast. Music by Abysmii. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
Hello, kids, and welcome to Mr. Bear's house. Today, I have a few things cooking on the back burner, and because I can't go into details, because I'm not sure who will be watching, I'll just be answering some mail sent in from kids just like you. We do appreciate the mail we get, especially since it's made of paper and can be easily destroyed. Us bears have to be careful where we leave footprints. Our first letter comes from King Mob, who asks, "Are werewolves just furries with anger management issues?" Thanks for the question, little one, but I'm afraid I don't know exactly what furries are. People have called me a furry, but I'm a bear and most bears are furry. As for anger management, sometimes when you have big emotions, you just have to do something that you find relaxing, like building a campfire. Sometimes I get angry when I don't expect to and need to build a campfire right then and there, like in the middle of a Hobby Lobby. Now, Mr. Greenwitcher asks, what are your tips to stop procrastination? Well, procrastination means putting something off that you don't want to do. Sometimes a timer can work wonders for motivation. Pterodax 2000 asks, who's behind the chicken coop at 33 Greenville Lane? Well, I can't say for sure, but I know there aren't any children there, because I checked. Phantom wants to know, what are your tips for getting into arson? I have to stop you there because arson means burning down property that belongs to others, and that's not okay. Burning things is okay if it has a purpose, like keeping you warm, or lifting someone's spirits, or lifting someone's spirit to a better place. We must make sure we're not being cruel by starting a fire, so only burn to restore balance. I hope that makes sense. Those are the only questions we have time for today. Thanks to everyone that sent in questions. I'll be taking a while to read them all and dispose of them and cherish the memories in my heart. Mr. Bear will see you soon. Bye-bye now.
Teenage euthanasia.
Teenage mutant euthanasia.
God damn it.
Conquering the CCP. Teenage Euthanasia is I think it's only got one season, maybe it has more. I saw it on HBO Max, but it's an Adult Swim cartoon.
Dude, it's a documentary. What are you talking about? You weren't supposed to be laughing. You're laughing. Look.
It was really funny. I don't know. Adult Swim is like slowly realizing that they need to not just have 17 Tim and Eric shows. Yeah. Nothing against Tim and Eric, but you need other stuff on there. And they're starting to greenlight some pretty good animation. So go check that out. It's rather fun.
Rather fun. 3 stars, says Abysmii.
I lulled a little bit.
I lulled in my pants,
asleep.
says Abysmii.
When you lull upon a star.
Describe the show. What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
It's basic.
It's basic.
It's absurdist, but it's about a family who runs a funeral home, and the mother is just like basically runs off and doesn't give a shit, and then dies. But then her daughter cries and like brings her back to life, and she has vagina beetles. It's weird. Like it's hard to describe. It's a
family picture.
It's about family, really.
All right, that's it. Fucking shit.
Thank you for coughing all over my plug.
No problem.
Plug coughers.
People are spreading COVID by coughing on anal plugs.
They'll never suspect this.
All right, well, whatever.
Whatever, listen.
Fuck.
Oh, boy.
Oh, the poster. God damn it. These are stories I found on No Sleep. They're giving me insomnia.
Shower thought? Please don't stab me, I beg you, stop!
I escaped Oprah's feasting chamber.
The stuff coming from my ear isn't earwax. Now I think all of Ecuador is in trouble.
So I killed my parents and it's your fault. Explained.
I covered up the murder of Johnny Lambertston so well you don't even remember him.
The local tribes around here have customs that make for a great horror story.
Teenagers keep jumping off an old bridge in our town, and I'm a journalist struggling to fabricate a youthful slang term for this phenomenon. No, I won't investigate why it's happening.
I'm from a parallel dimension where the Earth is slowly getting hotter and hotter, but no one is taking it seriously.
The holders of unsorted recycling.
I used to be normal, and then I killed a person, and now being a killer is my new normal.
Sex is great, but have you ever gone camping in winter with someone special and laid out under the bright, unspoiled country stars in the middle of nowhere, holding their hand, just kind of dreaming aloud about your future together, and they ain't saying a word because words would ruin it. They just keep squeezing that hand real tight and looking at you with those big, sweet eyes, and your phone goes off. How is there a signal out here? And you almost ignore it because this moment is perfect, but you check it just in case, and it's a text from your lover saying they just woke up in a tent and you weren't there, and it's scaring them. And that sick, sinking realization that whatever is holding your hand hasn't said a word in the past 30 minutes, and it keeps staring at you, blinking one eye at a time, breathing out of sync, almost like mimicking your moving its chest up and down without actually breathing. And now that tight grip on your hand just ain't quite as comforting as it was 8 seconds ago.